Most people running Facebook ads are wasting money. If Facebook ads feel confusing, expensive, or like you're just guessing, you're not stupid. Most people are running them wrong because nobody ever showed them the basics properly. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through Facebook ads step by step so you know exactly what matters and what doesn't. This video is gonna save you money and time and a lot of frustration. Let's start. Now, honestly, when it comes to Facebook ads, this shit is easy. So the very first thing we want to do once we're in Ads Manager is just go over to the left-hand side to campaigns, and we're going to land here, right? And then we just want to tap on create. The type of campaign that you want, if you're a lead gen business, like a service-based business where you get, their details so you can give them a quote or anything like that, you just want to pick leads. If you're an e-commerce business and you get sales, so people purchase the product and you don't have to give them a quote or anything like that, you don't need their information before you get payment, you just tap on sales, all right? Now for this particular video, we're gonna tap on leads and we're gonna tap on continue. So the very first thing here that we wanna break down is the ad levels, all right? If you see up the top left over here and over here as well, there's 3 different levels, okay? There's the campaign level up here, which is basically just about setting in your budget. And then you have the ad set level, which is picking things like your targeting locations, your conversion locations, and what page to actually run the ads on. And then you have the ad level, where all of the magic happens and you actually create the thing that people see. And also, if you selected instant forms as one of your conversion actions, you will also create the instant form right here as well. All right, now that you understand that, we're gonna go through and start this off. So just put in your daily budget, whatever you think that you should put in for your business. Now, my personal recommendation, if you're a complete beginner and you're starting off, I recommend spending anywhere from $50 to $100 per day. Now that's in Australian dollars. If you're from the United States, it's $35 to $70 per day. And if you're from the UK, 25 to 50 pounds, all right? So what we're gonna do now is just tap on next, and we're gonna land straight onto the ad set level. As you can see here, in these 2 areas, we're now in the ad set level. So the conversion location, if you have a killer website, send the traffic to your website, all right? But 99% of people don't have conversion-focused websites. They're usually pretty shitty. So I recommend sending them to an instant form. If you run a service-based business, like you're a plumber, window cleaner, anything like that, I would just recommend that you send them directly to an instant form like this, just because you'll probably get more leads from using instant forms because it doesn't take them off the platform, and you can make them high quality as well by making them go through and answer various questions, okay? So what we want to do now is just select our page. And then for the performance goal, we're just gonna have this of maximize number of leads. There is another one down here of maximize number of conversion leads. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on this. Don't bother wasting your time on this, all right? You end up paying a premium price to get basically the exact same leads. And when you set up your instant forms, like how I'm gonna show you in this video, you're only going to get conversion focused leads anyway. So you don't need to change this over and pay for that premium audience, all right? So keep it on maximize number of leads. All right, now we're gonna scroll down to audience. All right, so what we want to do in audience is just tap on this little pencil here, and it's going to bring down our targeted location. So also tap this little arrow so you can see what you're doing. So we're just going to type in one of our service locations. All right, so just say we service around Chadstone. So now it's targeted directly into Chadstone. So what we want to do is tap on drop pin and just drop a pin in our targeting zone that we want to run ads in, and then just increase this to, the radius that we actually want, all right? Or you can decrease this. So just say we want to target this whole area here. I want to run ads throughout here because I have a large amount of employees and they reach all around these different areas, all right? So there's a big mistake that a lot of people do here, right? And it's they don't exclude the areas around the actual targeting. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that because I want you to make a ridiculous amount of money when it comes to ads. All right, so I'm gonna show you the proper way to do this and exactly how to save as much money as possible. And one of those biggest things is this exact thing here, which is not having exclusion zones. And you're probably watching me right now thinking, Daniel, you just added in another targeting zone, you absolute idiot, right? But wait, all right, we can actually go in here and we can tap on it and it will give us the option to exclude this. Bang, now it's a red circle. What I recommend that you do is going through and putting all these exclusion zones all around your targeting zone, just like this. Add them up to like 20 miles wide each, just all the way around your actual targeting area. So it will just look like a big blue area with a bunch of red circles around it. Now this will stop you from getting a large amount of leads that aren't in your service area. Now, sometimes you still get the problem. So to make this bulletproof, to really avoid getting any leads outside of your area, because right now, since the Andromeda update, it has been quite a big issue, especially for service-based businesses. We want to scroll down and we want to tap on further limit the reach of your ad. Do not stress, this isn't a big deal. The ads are still going to be broad, so we're still going to get as much reach as before. It's just actually going to listen to our good old guidelines that we just gave it, which is just targeting here. It's not going to go for the cheapest lead and start pumping out ads here, even though we don't want them. Because currently, Facebook, billion-dollar company, does not understand that we do not want that. So tap on further limit the reach of your ads, go down here, tap on it, and then tap on continue, and just leave it how it is. Oh, well, you can actually change the age area, because, you know, a lot of the time, you won't get people around the age of 18, so you can just boost this up to like 25 or anything like that. And I probably wouldn't use this as a suggestion, because I know my business better than anyone else, and I'm sure you do as well, and the chances of you getting 18-year-olds is very unlikely in the actual job, all right? Like, I'd really doubt that they're gonna convert and get, you know, whatever quote or whatever business you run, unless you run like a restaurant or anything like that, or a food joint. You'd obviously have this as 18-year-olds as well, because, you know, they would love to go out for dinner. But for this particular ad, we're creating an ad for a service-based business, so I'm not going to bother about using that as a suggestion. We're going to scroll down and we're just going to tap on next. Now, as you can see, we're in the ad level. So this is where the magic happens. This is where we create the actual ad, what people actually see, right? So we're going to scroll down and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. What I recommend doing is having this on single image or video ad. And when it comes to testing, right? When it comes to knowing how many ads you should make, I recommend having about 5 ads in here. Okay, for this particular budget, 5 ads is going to work fantastic. So now we're going to set up our creative. So the creative is just the words on the ad, the image on the ad, and just everything like that. So let's tap on set up creative and then set up image. We're just going to tap on this image here and then tap on next. So as you can see, this is what our image looks like right now. We want to keep all of these as original. We do not care if this ad does not show up in this placement, because we don't really want it to show up in that placement anyway. So let's tap on next. Now I can put in the primary text and everything right here, but it does look pretty bad. So I'm going to avoid doing that in this area. We're going to do it after we fill out everything else in regards to the actual image. All right, so tap on next. So as you can see here, it's actually generated us some AI images. I recommend just selecting on any of these that actually look good, but if they look shit like this one here, like it looks like the guy's in a snowstorm, right? If they look shit like that, just don't even bother clicking on it. But if you find any ones that look, you know, better, like this one looks pretty good. Or this one here, because there's another guy in the image, I recommend just testing it out, right? It's not going to use this as your sole photo, like it's just going to use this as another test of the photo, which is really good. All right, tap on next. Now, remove enhanced media, text improvements, and enhanced CTA. The reason why is because we want full control over our Facebook ads, and we want to know what they actually say. All right, if we have on text improvements, it'll change our text around, which is not what we want. And then if we have enhanced CTA, it'll also change what our CTA is, which we don't want to happen, right? So the ones we do want to keep on is overlays, visual touch-ups, music, and you can have animation on or not. I'm just going to leave it on. Let's tap on done. So this right now is the bare bones of our ad. All right, so this is our image. Just imagine this is from Solar Company, not my demonstration page, Daniel Dimsey. All right, so this is what we've got right now, the stock standard. What we need to do is put in our primary text, our headline, and our descriptions, and our call to actions. So the call to action, obviously for this type of business, which is a service-based business, which is a solar installation, we're just going to tap on get quote, because that's what we want the client to do. We want them to get a quote. All right, pretty simple stuff. So bang, here's our primary text right here. All right, I've gone through and I've created this, and this is actually a type of ad copy that we run for one of our clients who's in solar installation. It's not the exact thing, obviously, because I don't want to show that on an ad, but it's quite similar. All right, so I want you to understand that this is the type of ad copy that works. Long form ad copy works unbelievably well. Some people look at this and go, oh, there's a disgusting amount of like writing here. But no, you're paying for your ad to appear and sell someone on your service. So you want as much writing in here as possible that's really going to sell them. Obviously, you don't want in here just random fluff where you're just trying to hit a word limit. No, you want very sales focused stuff, pointing out the exact location and person that you want, right, which is a Melbourne homeowner, and pointing out their problem. They usually pay around X amount per year for electricity compared to $1,700 with a properly installed solar system, right? We're literally eliminating their bill in half. We're doing exactly what the image says, cut your power bills, right? We're cutting them in half, literally, all right? So this is the type of ad copy that works really well. Now, I'm going to scroll down and put in my headline. So the headline that I'm going to put in is something very simple. I just tell them what I want them to do. right? Which is getting a quote. We want them to go and get a quote and tap on this button here so we can go talk to them. So bang, here's my headline here. It's super simple. It's just get your solo quote, right? I'm just telling them exactly what I want them to do. Don't overthink this area, guys. It's really simple. Just tell them, like I said, what you want them to do. Now for the description, just kind of follow along with that and either give social proof or, you know, push something custom or just anything like that, right? Just anything that you might think will help. So here's my description here: reduce your power bills with a custom solar system, which is just doing the exact same thing the image is doing and the words up here is doing. It is pushing the fact that we are reducing or cutting or destroying their power bill so they don't have to pay as much money per year, all right? That's clearly the angle of the ad, which is, hey, we save you money, pay us money so we can save you money, all right? But this is exactly what you want here. So I'm gonna break this down real quick. Off the very back of the ad, what you can see is the exact target location. So bang, they know that they are the people in that area. They're also homeowners, and they're probably most likely paying around $3,200 per year for electricity because this is the average for the households in there. And then bang, here's a quick little comparison to how much they could be paying if they had a solar system that we installed for them. What this is doing is showing that we are cutting their power bill in half, and then you have the image that reiterates that, cut your power bills in half with a custom solar system, and then also massive social proof. Bang, they know that we are trusted. We got 289 Google reviews, 5 stars, right? We are a trusted provider to install your solar systems, okay? Then we even have a photo of a guy doing it, which is really good. And then we have the actual headline, get a solar quote, the call to action, get quote, and then the reduce your power bills as well. Now this is an absolute banger of an ad, but we're not done just yet. We still need to actually create the instant form where they're going to go to fill out their details and become a high quality lead, all right? So we're gonna scroll up to destination and we're gonna tap on create form. Now, in my opinion, I keep this on more volume and I keep this as open and I keep this as optimized. Now we're just gonna tap on next. I remove the greeting because majority of the time it is just a waste of time. And then I go through here and I put in multiple questions to make sure they're qualified. Because if you don't do this, you'll get dud leads and you'll complain, why is my lead quality so bad? And it's because you didn't verify the leads. All right. So what I recommend doing is going through here, adding in about 3 to 4 qualifying questions to actually make sure that they answer those questions to prove to you that they are a high quality lead, right? So what I recommend is having about 3 multiple choice questions. So you just ask things like, how urgently do you need it done? Just any demonstration question like that. You know your business better than I do. So just write in whatever information you want before you get on a phone call with them or before you send them a quote, all right? But if you don't know what to write in here, you could add in things like what's the best form of contact. So you could have your answers as email, phone call, SMS, and they can just tap which answer that they like, right? And then you know exactly what type of contact method they'd like to speak to you through, because some people don't like email, some people don't like text message, yada, yada, yada. And then I also recommend adding in a short answer question. This one should almost always be, what is your phone number? Okay. And then I leave this as minimum characters 5 and maximum characters 20. This way, when I ask, they'll get a question like this, what is your phone number? And they'll just enter in their phone number manually. All right. We're going to also get their number down here after you put in the questions. So we're going to get their email, full name, phone number. Make sure this isn't optional. Okay. We need this from them. It is not an option. And then also you can get the street address as well, just so you know exactly where they live. So if you need to give a quote based off Google Maps or realestate.com or Zillow or anything like that, where you can actually see the property online, this is a great way to do it. Okay. Now you might get this little warning over here. Too many questions may reduce the form submission rate. That's what we want. That's good. Great job. You did great. All right. You did great, kid. That's exactly what we want. We want to reduce the amount of people that submit the form, because it means that we're going to get rid of all the dud leads and all the people that don't know what they're doing. And we're only going to get leads that actually know, okay, I want a quote, okay? So if you don't know why I made you write in a question that asks about their phone number and also give them a form later on where they actually have to fill out their number as well, this is just to verify that you get the correct phone number from them. Because sometimes people who started their Facebook account with an old phone number, when they go to these instant forms, Facebook will auto fill out their details and use their number that they started Facebook with, all right, since they haven't updated it. And then you would complain, I got a dud lead because nobody answered the phone. But in reality, it was just an old lady who didn't really know what she was doing and she didn't double check that it was the correct phone number. So we make sure by having this question here to really force the fact that we're going to get the correct number. So no matter what, it is guaranteed that we have the correct phone number, okay? So now we're gonna tap on next, and I recommend just putting in your privacy policy here. You can just link this to your website, or you can tap on this bit and just remove it altogether. Tap on next. Now what I recommend here is just putting in expectations. So I keep this as thanks, you're all set. And then the description, I will have this as, you can expect us to call you within the next 24 to 48 hours, or you can expect a quote in the next 24 to 48 hours, just anything like that. Just setting in expectations on what is going to happen next, so they don't go willy-nilly going around slamming a bunch of other ads to make sure that they can get a quote from everybody else, because they know that you're locked in, you're going to give them a quote in X amount of time, okay? Now we can have the additional action as go to website and have this on, you know, our reviews or anything like that. If we want them to go there, we could have this as read our reviews, and then the link is literally just straight to our reviews on our website. Or you can have this as call business, put in your phone number here, just change this over to call now. This way, if they need you urgently, they can literally call you right after they've filled out the form, and you have all their details already, so you don't need to grab it while you're on the phone. All right, once you're done with that, just tap on create form, and then bang. What I recommend doing is just going over here, tapping on quick duplicate, and just making about 5 different variations of this ad. The only thing that I would change in the ad to do the testing is the actual image. That's all I would change, all right? And now you are a fantastic Facebook ads marketer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash like. Look, if you did want an unfair advantage in your business, there's a link in the description of my advertising course. I'm not gonna push you on it or sell you on it. If you do want that unfair advantage, go check it out. See you later.